For a business to really work for the long term, it has to feel good. It has to wake you up in the morning wanting to jump out of bed and get right into it. One of the main reasons why business and work can start to feel like drudgery and hard work is misalignment. The alternative is to create an aligned business. I've watched a lot of people over the last 10 years, including myself, attempt both successfully and unsuccessfully to create and build a range of different businesses. Some worked, some didn't. Some were easy, some felt like dragging bricks uphill. What didn't make sense was why some business systems and strategies work for one person easily and effortlessly, while for someone else it was incredibly difficult and completely failed. The consistent key to success, or lack of, in all of these ventures seemed to be alignment or lack of. So what is alignment? Well, if we go back to its basic roots, alignment comes from the late 17th century French word aligner, or into line, which is derived from the Latin words ad, meaning into, and linear, meaning line. So alignment can therefore be described as to put two or more things into a straight line, or to change something so that it has a correct relationship to something else, or maybe to integrate or harmonize components or parts and bring them together. So when I talk about alignment in business, I'm talking about creating something that is in line or harmonized or integrated with who you really are, who you are. The problem is that most of us don't in the slightest know at all who we really are, to even begin to figure out what it is that we need to align to, which leads us to the question, what is misalignment? So misalignment is the state that many people function in on a daily basis. The term miss means wrong. So when the word misalignment is created, it means wrong alignment or not in line, kind of all over the place. So when things are misaligned, it means they're not harmonized or integrated with one another. They're not in a line or correctly related to one another, which means that then there's a tension and a friction, often trying to force two things to work together that are naturally opposed, which means that the process is one of push and force rather than ease and flow. Which leads us then to the topic of, well, what then is a misaligned business? So a big reason why I've watched so many people over the last 10 years, including myself, struggle to create a business that works for them is due to this misalignment. So the business program or business strategy that they've chosen or selected may have worked brilliantly for one person over here. There's proof of 7-figure income and 6-figure months. It sounds so simple that anyone can do it, so they try. They follow all the steps. They do everything that they're told to do, and yet they can't get it to work and they don't know why. So for some reason, something just doesn't feel right. Logically in the head, it all makes sense, but it still does not work. And yet they continue to push and force the system to work for them. This is misalignment, and this is what creates a misaligned business. So even though a system or strategy or tactic may work for one person, if that particular system or strategy or tactic is not aligned with who you are and what you stand for, you're going to create that misalignment and internal conflict and tension pulling in different directions. While one part of you over here wants the end result of this system or strategy or tactic, another part of you over here is in complete conflict, disagreement, or misalignment. While one part of you wants a successful business and a 7-figure income, another part of you over here does not. This could be a hidden belief that one part of you has about money or work. It might be that somewhere along the line you've adopted the belief that money is the root of all evil. And so if you create a business, you will, by default, be evil. Or you could have been taught that being an employee creates the most security. So if you're in a business, you will not be secure. This is misalignment. So misalignment occurs when one part of you wants one thing over here and another part of you wants another thing over here. These parts of you are headed in two different directions, which is why one system or strategy or tactic can work for one person and not for another. In the first instance, all parts of that person are aligned with one another and they're headed in the same direction. In the second person, parts are misaligned and fighting against each other. This is not an aligned business. The key then to an aligned business is to first really, truly know yourself, to understand what the true thing is that you really desire and to make decisions that are actually aligned with that. Without that, there's always going to be conflict. So the problem is that in the world we live in, very few people actually really truly know their true self and are able to integrate and align those parts to head in the same direction, which is why so many people keep struggling to force or make a particular business work. So, how do you create an aligned business? Well, the key is to start with you and not the money or the system or strategy or tactic. The key is actually to take the time and really get to know and understand who you are and what you stand for and what you want. And then to choose the right systems and strategies and tactics that align with that. The thing is, choosing to get to know the real you can be challenging and confronting, and it can take time. It's not going to give you that quick fix 7-figure business that's not working anyway, but it can be the most rewarding experience in the world. Also, by choosing to start with you and align with that, chances are that you're going to create a very unique individual business that doesn't really look like anyone else's, which means you have to know yourself. You have to trust yourself. You have to make aligned choices and you have to just keep going. But the end result is so much greater than you can ever imagine. And when you're in alignment, you have your whole life to do it. It's just a journey lined out in front of you. That is aligned business, starting with you. So the alternative is to keep chasing those systems and strategies and tactics that work for someone else and may never actually truly work for you. And just hoping that one day through trial and error, you'll land on one that kind of fits, at least better than all the others. The other alternative is to take the time and actually choose to get to know you, who you are, what you stand for, and then build your business on that. It's totally your choice. I'll leave it with you.